bring stuff that goes on.
He's out there.
This what goes on. Yeah, all of the behind the scenes. You hear me? Hey, 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 y'all already know what it is. Your girl back in the building, Discussions with 10. I have some amazing, wonderful, great guys here, y'all. I swear they some great guys. But y'all already know how I start off. I start with one of my quotes. This quote is another quote that I wrote as well. It says, in this world we live in, there will always be trials, tribulations, and tests. But in order to succeed, you must go through obstacles to know what is meant for your life's journey. Y'all like that?
Yeah.
And if y'all don't know, a lot of people that got my book, most of my quotes are in the back of the book. So every one that I have read thus far on each show is in the back of my book. So that means if you don't have my book, you got to order it. Yeah. It's at TanishaDavis.com. So that's spelled TENESHA. So we've been prolonging enough, y'all. I don't know what's going on. We already had to push this show back from June because that was all the whole thing about Father's Day month. Y'all being some wonderful and great fathers. That's why I invited y'all out. And then, all right, so we here in July. I know y'all a little nervous. I know they better not freeze up on me in here today, y'all. So we're gonna keep the party going. And we're just here to talk. We're here to do some great discussions. With my panel, I try to make it where it's a little bit more strict. I ask questions. Hopefully, I get a good answer. And then we just rock it from there. So I just no longer to delay the situation. I'm gonna introduce them, and then they're gonna introduce themselves. I have to start off with my brother, y'all. Y'all know, like, if people really know me, if they ever ask me any questions or talk about my brother, like, I get to tear up. My brother mean the whole world to me. Literally, like, he my heart, he my rock. He keeps me going. He keeps me motivated. He done saved my life more than once. So, with that being said, we got Edward Davis here.
What up, dog? What up, dog? Yeah, like Nene said, Ed Davis with Detroit Up. I've been blessed to create multiple companies under my brand, Detroit Up. So like right now, my focus is more so doing construction and real estate development as well as merchandise right now. So we'll look to do more for like the community once I get to that point, but just helping out with some of my friends and their current brands and businesses doing that. But D Up, we up.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Say, hey, be up, you know we up. Let's go. So I got my main man, Mick Michael, in the building. Hey, listen, we go back to high school. And Mick been my homie for the longest. We grew up in the same neighborhood. Just to see where he come from to where he is now, it truly means like the world to me. And I just want him to introduce himself a little bit more.
My name is Michael A. Good. Most people call me Mick. I'm the owner and creator of the brand 10 Year Run. Is that cool? I'm the hat man, you know. That's what I'm mostly known for, but we're expanding the brand more into apparel.
Okay.
You know, military background, DLA, like Tanisha told y'all. Born and raised on Broad Street, Detroit's West Side.
Okay.
So just bringing the positivity today.
Okay. Hey, I like it. That's what I'm all for. All good vibes, all the ways around me. No negativity ever. So, let's get to my last homie here. Me and Meech go back to high school as well. It's crazy because when we was in high school, we talked a little bit, but we didn't. And we grew a better relationship and bond once we got older. So that was like so significant to me. And I appreciate that because not only is he one of my homies, but he's my business partner. So I'm going to give the floor over to you, Mr. King.
Hello, my name is Demetrius King. And as Tanisha mentioned, we work together with Just Because We Care Foundation. She's a secretary. She brings a lot of structure to the team, which is definitely appreciated. As far as high school, I swear, what was it, the Deca store?
Yes.
I thought she owned the Deca store. So, I mean, even from high school, she's always been a go-getter. And, yeah, your energy has always been at the top, you know. But as far as Just Because We Care Foundation, we do a lot of stuff in the community, whether it's interacting with the homeless, less fortunate, men, women, and honestly, anything or any type of support that we can provide to anyone that's in need, no matter whatever it is. We've been in operation since 2006, and we continue to keep pushing forward.
Yes, and it's 2021, so you're doing a great job. So let's jump straight into it, fellas. You know, I have another saying too that I love, that I live by. The pain will leave once it's finished teaching you. So in that whole part, just knowing with the struggles of our daily life, things we overcame to where we are now, is what I based on getting from my guests here, you know, whenever we do the panels, because I want our audience to know that people go through some of the same things, but they don't know how to voice it or overcome it. So that's what we're here today for, to talk about our struggles. So we could talk about some of the struggles you went through growing up, and overcome it. So Ed?
I mean, like most people, I feel like currently, like in my age group, like one of the biggest struggles I would say I had to date was, you know, actually graduating from college. You know, definitely just to have the, you know, will to finish, you know, that's the biggest thing, because, you know, oftentimes you do get discouraged while in college in terms of, you know, sometimes your grades, sometimes your workload, sometimes your financial, you know, status. So, you know, really just graduating from college was a big moment for me in my life. It helped to put a lot of things in perspective for me, in terms of, you know, just really just my life and my path, really what I really want to do. And, you know, just going to Michigan State, it was a great time up there. I was blessed to, you know, do a lot of things at Michigan State. One of them was pledging. Another thing was, you know, starting my business up at Michigan State, which is, you know, Detroit Up. That's when I originally got that started. I started selling clothes in college. And then just from there, learning and, you know, furthering my career into the construction field, you know, which has blessed me, you know, more than I can say thus far. So, you know, really just going to college, that was definitely a good stepping stone for me.
And to piggyback off of that, college definitely was one of the most struggling parts and attributes I had to go through too. So I understand it, being one of the first in the family pretty much to go off to college and school. So I had to learn a lot on my own, you know. So I would try to share with you some of the things, especially with trying to get a job. You had to get an intern or an extern. I never learned that. And not only that, but with the money from school, I learned a lot from different cultures. And dealing in that setting, I was taught basically, some of the parents would teach me, like, take all the money out. Take all the money that you could out. They would put it in their stocks and bonds, or sit on it and put it in like different, you know, platforms where they can get money back. So they were like, I'm basically paying them back with their money that I took from them. And that was like a great idea. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then another thing I had learned, one of these guys took an L for his daughter. He basically had let her go to school. She finished school. He put all her bills on his credit card, and then he filed bankruptcy. So basically, she just got a free education.
They know the game.
You get what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So to learn some of the stuff from different cultures was one of my best things of going to college. But it also shaped me as well. So I definitely get that. I definitely understand that. So make some of your struggles.
Well, some of my struggles is probably just changing the culture in my family. You know, the drugs and alcoholism. Both of my parents struggled with alcoholism. I had my bout with that and losing a lot of friends younger at a young age. It was kind of rough for me. Okay. But now being 7 years sober, I have a different outlook on that and just a clear vision on life. So that was one of my main struggles, just overcoming the party life, figuring out who I am, and just getting past that stress of losing your best friends and a lot of people we grew up with.
Exactly. And that's great, you know, because we deal with so much of that now, you know, whereas everybody has to have a go-to. I don't really, I can't say I have a lot of go-tos no more, but I never was the one to just find myself just drinking and smoking pretty much. But I did like the party. Listen, I think I used to be the party. I'm bringing the party with me. You get what I'm saying? So it definitely plays it definitely, you know, plays a part in itself. So to show that, you know, like, you know, coming out of the storm from not only generational, but within your friends. And I know, you know, miss them with every bit in me, and I know you do as well. Eat, you know. Eric, and he went to school with us at Murray Wright. Shout out to all the pilots.
Yeah.
Shout out to the pilots. So, you know, knowing even in that setting, it was crazy to me to see that happen, whereas he went off to the military. Y'all went to the military.
He was big in influencing that decision because I wasn't with it. You know, like, we both knew that we needed a change in our lives, but I just was like, military? But then he had a cousin in Lamont that was like, let me just take y'all on a tour.
Okay.
And once we, you know, took the tour of Selfridge Air Force Base, I was like, it's not bad, you know?
Okay.
And that was definitely a game changer for me because I don't know where my life would have ended without getting some structure and being around some real men at that time in my life, like 18, 19. You know, after Murray, it's like, I don't have to listen to nobody. I can be on Dexter, chilling, turning up. I can be wherever I want to be.
Right.
And that's what when I talk to the youth, I tell them, like, it's important to have a parent in your life, you know, through school, but those ages 17 to like 20 something is where black men usually make bad decisions. If there's no structure, no college, no nothing, because you got idle time, you can run the streets, you can turn up, you can party, and I think it's even more worse now.
But and I like what you said about that because I honestly seen one of my old principals. She's the principal over at CAS now.
Okay.
But she wasn't at that time. And once I seen her on a picture with someone with Governor Granholm.
Okay.
I believe, yeah, Granholm. That's her name. That's
Gretchen.
Gretchen. Okay, yeah.
Unless you're talking about Granholm.
No, Gretchen. So it's Gretchen. Sorry, y'all. Big Gretchen, yeah. So she was on there, and they had just finished off the graduation, and somebody posted her. And I screenshotted it because I've been trying to find her, but I said before the pandemic had hit, I was going up to CAS last year, but that didn't happen. So long story short, I ended up posting the picture, and I said anybody that knows her to share because she literally saved my life.
Right.
I got into a small altercation with one of the substitute teachers when I was over at DSA. It's all in my book as well. And she was the only one that literally stood by me.
Right.
If I was about to get kicked out of all Detroit public schools, so I couldn't even graduate from a Detroit public school at this time. She wouldn't have stood up for me. Right. She was the only one that stood up for me and got me back into school, not knowing what type of struggle she had to go through or what was said about her, anything. And I appreciate that because if I didn't graduate from a Detroit public school, I probably would have never went back to school ever. So to finish school, I even left DSA, went to Murray Wright. That's how I became a pilot during that time. So within that whole setting, it's like, if she saved my life and she didn't know it. You get what I'm saying? Because I would have been in the streets. I would have been probably worse off than I was, but it was like she really helped me in my next stage and phases of life. So I appreciate that. And like you said, if you didn't have that structure as well as you did and joining a fraternity, you wouldn't know how to really probably get that urge and the next steps of being a great man, know? So that just leads up to that and me. So what struggles did you go through growing up and everything?
Struggles, I'll probably say, I think I still struggle with it now, is just balance. Like knowing, like growing up as a PK, but then having the friends that I had, not saying that they were horrible, but some stuff as a PK child, you know, it appears to be lame, or you know, it's not in with everybody else. So struggling between my upbringing and possibly what I wanted to venture off in, you know, having that balance, you know, I say I probably struggle with that the most. Now, when I say balance, balance is now is family, work, business, you know, learning how to make sure I'm doing all the things that I should be doing rather than putting all my time into one and neglecting the others. So, you know, so if I'm spending 50 hours at work, I want to make sure that, of course, I'm working for the family, for the kids, but I want to give them that time as well. So it's been times where, yeah, my focus and the balance just wasn't equaled out. So I'm getting there, you know, making progress, but that's a struggle.
Yeah, I feel you on the balance because I work less hours now and I make less money, but I have more time for my son. I have more energy, I would say. Because there was times where I was spending time with him, but I was beat down trying to he'd be turned up, and I would be like, "Give me 10 more minutes, man." So now, you know, I'm beating him up. So, you know, taking a pay cut was well worth it for me and working less hours.
Yeah,
That's good, man.
the time, that's really the most important thing. That's a commodity that you can't get back, you know, at the end of the day. So, like you said, to take the L just to free up your time, now you can make more money in a sense because now you can devote that to your job, your business, your family, you know. So definitely, I feel that.
And I like that too because I was just telling a few friends this. Whereas, you know, me dealing with tearing a vessel in my back in May, I haven't worked, but now I used to work like between 103 and 108 hours a week for somebody else. You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
On top of trying to still manage my life, have fun, still run my business, and help other people.
Right.
I used to be wore out. Like now, I have been enjoying the moments of not working, but able to do and move around freely and doing different things that I want to do. So I've been helping more of my friends that's really, you know, trying to get to the next level because we all are trying to get somewhere.
Absolutely.
And I just feel like, you know, I know how it feels to not have a lot of help sometimes. So I want to be able to help out, you know, the ones that's really got something going on right now. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm loving it.
We
I'm
appreciate you too.
I'm loving it. Listen, it is so much of just a breath of fresh air. So I definitely understand, man. Listen, that did something. That did. But yes, so even with the struggle part and overcoming everything, that's what I want to know now. Like, how did you overcome some of those struggles? And, you know, how did you, like, how, because a young lady asked me yesterday too as well, and she was just so, like, ecstatic to meet me. And it was like, okay, cool, you know, I can get used to this. But it's more so of now she wants to know my story, even though she said, I read your book in a day and a half. And I was like, wow, you know, she was like, and your story was just so, she was like, I was going through every phase with you. It was like, I was right there. She like, you wrote a great book. But she wanted to know specific parts now. Like, she wanted to know a little bit more. So that's where I'm at. Like, I want to know, how did you overcome stuff? How did you was able to maneuver through different struggles and overcoming everything? And her thing was like, she knew she when she read, she said, well, I see that October is not one of your greatest months. Why? So we went into the why, you know, what happened. I told her that and how I overcame it. And she was like, oh my God. And it was just like, okay, cool. So right, I want to feel that now with y'all. Give me a oh my God situation, you know? So how did you overcome your struggles?
I mean, I would say like one way for sure that I overcame is through prayer, and just having faith, you know, at the end of the day. Like just with my mom, she's a super religious person, you know, she started me and my sister off in church. So, you know, just keeping that near and dear with me now is, you know, just keeping headstrong with being faithful to the Lord and just reading the Bible, you know, every chance I get. I mean, I don't read that much, y'all don't get me wrong. I read the Bible all day, but I mean, like, you know, wake up and read the verse for the day, you know, that, you know, sets you up good. And like, I would say that, and just having like a good support system, you know, that definitely helped me. You know, me and my friends, we went to high school together, you know, went to Michigan State together, you know, and my fiance. So like just having a good support system, you know, that definitely helped me out along the way with family and friends. And, you know, just setting goals too, you know, just setting your own goals and, you know, getting what you want out of life, you know, just having that more so like burning desire to get stuff done for real. Like I feel like that's what's kind of keeping me going to help me.
Okay.
Thus far.
And listen, anything with the Lord definitely will make the situation better. So
Right.
prayer, you set that tone with prayer, get your mindset every day with me. You know, I have to listen to my church music to get my day started and just going throughout the day. Like I could be sitting there talking to you and I'm praying. You wouldn't even know. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? So it's like that's the best feeling when you can have that encounter too with the Lord. Oh man, listen, that's a whole
Can I
nother
add
story.
one more random
Go
thing
ahead.
too though? Another little random thing I do too is like on Sundays I listen to like nothing but like old school music. Like I cut out the rap because like I feel like just throughout the week I listen to so much like hip hop and stuff. Like that kind of music really sets you in a different mind state, and then just like to like listen to some old school music like on Sundays. Like it helped refresh me and it helped me like restart my week. So like I've been doing that, you know, for like I want to say like 7 years now in this thing.
I relate to the music because I got like a go-to. I got a few playlists that just turn me up and kind of take me away,
Okay.
you know, from whatever going on or get me back on track. I might need to listen to it before work. I might be going through something in the middle of the day, but certain songs just make me be like, okay, man, let's get it. You know, like you could put on a lot of Nipsey and that just takes me up to a
Take
very
you a whole
Yeah.
other level. Listen.
I'm ready for whatever.
Shout out, man. R.I.P. to Nip.
Yeah, that was a rough one losing Nip
Yes.
because people like that you just feel connected to, and you seeing them say what they're gonna do, and it actually come to life. And you being somebody that's up and coming, you need those people, even if it's not Nipsey. Like people like y'all, I follow y'all journey and see y'all hit one of y'all goals. For me, I feel like yeah, he did it, she did it, I can do it too.
Mm-hmm. And I like that because for me, I didn't even know much about this. It was around my birthday time because I think he got killed in April, right?
Yeah.
March 31st.
March. So he was around April. So I had a friend that was down in California soon because he was a big Nipsey fan. He loved Nipsey. He flew right down there. Like soon as it took place, just to be in the atmosphere to see, you know, what was going on. And once I knew, like I was in Chicago at that time, but he was in California, and to talk about what was transpiring at that time,
Right.
I'm like, okay, cool. But I had just seen the picture with him and Lauren, standing in the all white with the horse in the middle.
Okay.
So I was like, that's a nice picture. That's what drew me to Nip. And I never knew anything about him, but I think within that next month, we ended up going down to California. From the ride from our hotel, we was going on a cruise. So the lady was giving us a whole, she ran everything down.
Everything about Nip.
She
Wow.
just to see the love that he gave while he was alive, he
Right.
wrote his own story while he was here. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
And
yeah.
for everybody to feel Nip like they did, and everybody had a story about him and how much he gave back, how much he did. He didn't talk about it all the time. You get what I'm saying? So it was like that did something to me.
It was
And
like seeing the underdog win for me.
Yes.
Like, I got on Nip early. I
Yes.
got on him like bullets ain't got no name. But even then, like some of his interviews, I put it to you like this: like his talent caught up to like the stuff he was doing
Mindset.
already. Like the music kept getting better and better,
okay.
and you could tell he was just learning and learning. Like that book Contagious, he read a few chapters out of that and immediately applied that to business.
Yes.
Like charging $100 for the mixtape or whatever.
Mhm.
So he was just a sponge, like a student of the game, like he was just implementing it right there on the spot. So it was so much to him, and I think people will be learning from him
Forever. Forever. So with that, what was some of the how did you overcome the struggles and everything?
Me, you know, I had to take an honest look at myself,
Okay.
and I seen some stuff I didn't like. You know, I was forced to conform, you know, for legal issues, but then I really had to look at my life and see where do I want to be as a person, where do I want to be as a father, So, and I started to surround myself. I started to go to seminars. I started to listen to podcasts. Like he said, I stopped listening to so much aggressive music and smoothed it out more. I love music anyway. And just try to change my mindset. And, you know, I started to serve more. I started to volunteer more. And that started to change me a little bit. And just, I'm still working on me. So, you know, the person you see today, I wasn't that. And I'm just trying to take it somewhere else.
And that's always a good step, because some people see where you are now and don't know the value that it holds. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't know where I came from. I'm not there no more. I'm here, but I'm progressing every day.
Oh, yeah.
But don't get it twisted. You know, she ain't dead, but she's sleep. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you take that and you be grateful for it. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So to know where you came from, I know. Listen, I know, and it's so funny, Nick, because I don't know if you remember. You called me one day, and I was at home chilling. This was right after my birthday as well, and we was just talking, and I was on the phone with you, and my mom ran in screaming and hollering. Do you remember that day?
I think I do.
Yeah, she ran in screaming and hollering, and that's the day I lost my little cousin.
Yeah, I remember.
And you was like, homie, whatever it is that you need to do, go ahead and do it. I'll talk to you later. But I don't know if I ever told you that situation. I was really prepping myself for my god sister day. But now I'm in a whole turmoil, and I'm about to see my little cousin. You get what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know what was going on in that moment. And it's just like, I jumped up and had to get there. And it's like, all of this is in the book as well. But, you know, it's just, certain situations bring out either the worst in you or it bring out the great in you.
Right.
So I just say that to say, where people are now, some people still going through the storm, some people still going through the struggle, some people going through a lot, and you will never understand. But you still can't just always put a opinion or something. You can't always just put your mouth on people, because you don't know where they are at that time.
Right.
And it's just like you said, I came from here, there, and there. I'm here now. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, to make it better, to see where you came from, I love it. But I'm going to get a little bit more on that volunteering, too, once I talk to Demetrius, because, listen, that volunteering life is a whole nother mindset. To see the people and to really touch in the community, that's a whole different atmosphere, a vibe, and it will make you feel like you on top of the world and you don't even know it.
Right.
Because these people literally are going through the worst storms and the darkest moments of their life. But to go out there and to touch base with them and to network and to let them know, like, you know, we here just because this is what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not for show. This is not for no advertising or anything, but just to hear the stories or put the smile on somebody else's face. You know, that makes my day dealing with giving back to the community. So that's why I love that. Like, that's a whole nother realm for me. That's a whole nother mindset, but reach.
Yeah.
So, how and what of how you came over your struggles and your trials and tribulation moments?
I'll probably say not depending on others. I mean, usually, and then you have some people that you may surround yourself with that may appear to have the same ambition as you, or it may appear that you guys are like-minded, but you're not. So, like, let's just say, hey, starting just because we care, you know, I figured why not influence the people that I'm mostly around, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, a lot of people are like, yeah, they got your back, they're in your corner, you know, they feel the same way you do, and then it's just a lot of disappointment. You know, a lot of people let you down, a lot of people say they're going to do something and they don't do it, and then it's easy to get discouraged because then it's like, well, you know, is this something that I should be doing? You know, so it's easy to lose focus, and after so many letdowns, it just got to the point where I just started thinking, like, no matter what, you know, it don't matter who's there, who's not there. It doesn't matter if it's my parents or siblings. It didn't matter. Like, if it's something that I wanted to do, it's going to get done. So just overcoming it was, hey, no matter what, I always, I think it was a passage from Well, I heard it from Denzel, but it was do what you have to do and until you can do what you want to do. So no matter what the consequence or the circumstances were, I think I was going through force. I was going through a lot, and like you said, as far as volunteering, it's hard to put your issues aside to go help others. So, in the midst of helping those other people, it actually helped me. So, but yeah.
So even with that, and these are two moments that really sparks up in my whole soul. Like I feel like I don't even know, like $1 million or something, like just a pot of gold. Like I found, we did 2 events, right? One was at the park over there off of 3rd in the Cass Corridors area. And this guy walked up to me, and this is in my book as well, y'all. He walked up to me, and he was like, he walked over there smiling as hard as he could. I said, how you doing today? He said, I'm great. He said, but y'all have literally changed my life. I said, why you say that? He said, because I didn't have nowhere to stay. Y'all helped me find a place. On top of that, y'all bring me clothes. Y'all bring the community clothes, new clothes. It ain't just some worn down stuff that somebody just didn't want anymore. He said, not only that, y'all give us warm meals. You know how long it takes for us to get a hot meal around here? I had to literally, it still go get me to this day, y'all. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it gets to me because you never know how grateful for the small things people are. We take some of that and just, think we gotta have it. And we don't. It's given. The Lord gives this to us. But, I just go to say that moment, I had to literally walk away because I didn't want him to see me shed a tear. Because we take our warmth for granted. Mm-hmm. We take having a hot meal every day for granted. And we was also doing the Thanksgiving situation. And I was known as the cranberry girl.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I walked around, y'all, with the cranberry sauce to everybody. And the guys, we went to a men's shelter first. Mm-hmm. And they opened it up to the community after that. And within that setting, once the guys got done, and I'm walking around with them, talking and making jokes and putting a smile on their face, they let the community come in. And it was this family. It was a father, a mom, and a daughter. And in that setting, I walked over and I asked them would they like some cranberry sauce. And they was like, no, we're fine. But by the time I was turned around to walk away, the daughter whispered to the parents and was like, we finally get a hot meal.
I remember that.
That took me out. Literally for this baby to say that. She didn't look no older than between 6 and 8. And she was like, we finally get a hot meal. I literally had to run to the bathroom because I was like busting out in tears. I'm still crying now. So it's just crazy because it is a humbling feeling because this baby, everybody's not homeless, but everybody somewhere is less fortunate somewhere. And it's like everybody needs somebody, so it's like that's what I thrive off of. I thrive off of giving back to our community. I thrive off helping somebody else because I know what it was when I couldn't have a meal. Even when I was locked up, the worst thing I hated was pushing a doggone button to get hot running water and it wasn't hot. You get what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, oh my God, not only even in that moment, they would feed us slop. To feed somebody slop in a presentation that's not even good, I'm not eating it. Right. So to give somebody a hot meal that's good and decent, a warm beverage or a cool beverage or whatnot, because a lot of them are diabetic, so you want to make sure that you have enough or you don't have enough seasoning on something, but you make sure the proportions is good. And you just don't never know how much you will help somebody else and make them just feel great for that day. Or for that week, a month, you never know. So that just goes to show y'all literally have to just not sometimes think about yourself, think about somebody else. Just greet somebody with a smile or just tell them how cute they are or give somebody a hug. And I even remember the small thing, and I remember too, D, where we was out in the community doing haircuts. And one of the
Yeah.
guys that got a haircut, he was so like adamant about just working with the program. Whereas he became a employee
Yeah, he
down
did.
at the Tiger Stadium.
His name was Demetrius.
That's crazy, right? And he, I mean, this guy didn't miss a day.
Man.
He was always on time, before time, and he just wanted to just be there in the atmosphere. You get what I'm saying? So it's just,
Man.
you never know. Like, everybody not a bad person. And it's just like some of the stuff that if you can just help somebody else out, just do it. Just the kindness. Just don't do it just because, but just do it for the heart. Yeah.
I used to work with a guy, and you know how you just see people at work. And every time I see him, we kind of like fist bump. And I be like, let's get it, bro. Then one day I said it. I'm like, let's get it. He like, bet. And he came back to me. He was like, bro, he's like, it'd be a lot of days. I be going through stuff. I be down. But when I see you in the morning, you smile at me and say, let's get it. I just shake it off and push through the day.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
that's
so,
That's
Damn,
what's
I
up.
thought
Cause you
that was
never
dope.
know. You
Right.
never know, man. Like, for real, you gotta be kind out here. And I'm telling y'all, some people, and I ain't gonna just say that, but this is how I feel sometimes. I try to help any and everybody out. I try to push people. I try to motivate people. I try to bring people. If I know a connect, I'm gonna connect you. If I know somebody else that got something going on, I'm gonna put you over there or whatever. And it's like, some people really don't like you just because you're you. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like,
Oh, yeah.
with those people, you just leave them where they at. And it's like, bro, I've never done nothing to you.
Yeah.
I've never done anything
Nisha,
to
you gotta
you.
realize some people just, you can say good morning. They're gonna be like,
What you good about it?
Right,
You
right, yeah.
right. You
Yeah.
right.
You can't change them people.
You right. And them the ones I don't want in my presence. Them the ones I don't want in my circle. Them the ones I don't even want in my face. But I try to still be, nice.
You gonna
You know.
be you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be me regardless, because I'm always speak and I'm always be nice. I don't care if I gotta like your picture on social media.
Right.
But that's just me, because ain't no hate in my heart. Ain't no none of that. I don't hold grudges or anything. But some people just be so upset for the littlest things. And it's like, bro, it's more to life than that.
Right. Too though, on the other side, you don't know what they going through for real. You don't know what took them to get to that point. So it's like, with that aspect, you still have to treat everybody with that same respect, like you said,
Right.
that same, pleasure, saying hi, just liking them, giving them a hug, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
you still got to do that, but everything ain't for everybody.
It ain't. And these days, a lot of
God,
times,
please,
It's not
everybody.
easy.
it's not. And it's like these days, I love hugs. I love hugs, y'all. But dealing with COVID and then dealing with a lot of people, body and their mental and everything, like they bad vibe. I don't even be want people to touch me these days. Like,
COVID
no,
made
for
things
real.
Different, because you might have somebody that want the handshake, and then you go for it, or you might not do anything.
Yeah.
I don't know how I just speak to the whole room. So,
Right. Exactly. So yeah, listen, I get it, but I just wish the best for everybody, and I pray for them, and just keep it moving.
That's all you can do.
That's all I can do at this point. So other than that, let's get to the down and the nitty gritty. So this is simple, y'all. This is simple. It's almost over with. Y'all did great. Y'all did great. Listen, y'all have done great. I love the discussion. So I just want to know, where are you at now? What do you have going on for the future, or what's your plans? That's why I just want to know. Let people know you came over the struggle. You got over that. You came through it. You got through that storm, and where you at now? So Ed.
I would say with me right now, I'm just, steady advancing my life. Steady is business as usual with me, for real. Just with me working downtown on this large construction project, just, working on that to try to see it through to the end and, put myself in a better position career-wise. That's really my main focus with that. And at the same time, just continuing to advance my company and build my company. Because, overall, the goal is not to continue to work for someone, the rest of my life. It's always been about entrepreneurship. But at the same time, you got to learn from, every situation and every aspect that you have been in life. So, that's just my main focus, just to continue to build and, grow myself professionally and, personally, and then also just overall my family too, just continue to build and be in a position where I can leave a good legacy for my daughter and, other family younger. So that's really my main focus right now. That's where I'm at.
Perfect. Perfect. I love it. I like that. I love it, really.
For real.
So, me?
Right now, I'm just continue to be a student of the game in the streetwear space of fashion. I want to make 10-Year Run more accessible to people with launching a website, probably more pop-ups. Let people know what the brand is all about. You know,
Did you
No.
break us down what the 10-year run
No.
is? Because
well,
a lot of people, and it's crazy, I ain't mean to cut you off like that, but when I first seen it, I'm like, okay, 10, that's my name, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? So what is this about? And I had to call him and ask him, what is 10-year run? So what is 10-year run?
10-Year Run. I started the name when I got 10 years of seniority at my job.
Okay.
I was supporting a lot of brands, so I want to start my own brand. And I couldn't think of a name of anything. I'm like, I got 10 years seniority, but then I started to think, I started at my job in 2006, and I got my certificate for 10 years in 2016, and I was just thinking about my life at that point, all of the stuff I had been through, losing a lot of friends, and going through trials and tribulations, and I was just thinking, I'm not crazy, I haven't lost my mind, I must be on some type of run. So, and you talked about service. Me and a friend of mine had got together to give away some clothes. A lot of the stuff was still in good condition or whatever. And at that event, my first logo was born. So, it was this logo that I have on my hat. But a lot of people seen the logo, they liked it, but they was like, what does it mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I started digging back, unpacking my story a little more. And I came with, purpose, ambition, discipline, determination. Those are some of the things that mean a lot to me, and they mean a lot when you're trying to reach your goal. So 10-Year Run is about pushing people to reach their goals and having longevity and reaching your goals.
Perfect. I love that. I love that. And it's crazy how the Lord worked, because the guy I was just about to talk about walks in the door. So shout out to him, because he was supposed to be here with us. But no, it's crazy. Mick, I had a dream about us three owning a storefront with all three of our brands. So to say that is not knowing where it's going, but knowing that it's going great for all of us. You get what I'm saying? And shout out to my other business partner B that's in the building. But I just feel like with your mission and your ambition is I love it. Like you said, you're the hat man, but now you're turning to apparel. So it all aligns. It all aligns. In due time, it's gonna take off. It's definitely gonna take off where it needs to be and where it's supposed to be. So, you just sit back and let nature take its course.
Right. Keep putting in the work.
Exactly.
I'm all about putting out apparel and hats with a positive message. Right?
Perfect.
So anything I attach myself to, whether it be honorable, gold mines, it's just trying to get you. It's a conversation piece.
Exactly. And it's crazy because I had touched base with you too. I'm like, don't think I'm taking your name and stuff, but I'm coming out with my own 10. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
yeah.
even now I have my candles out, which are the 3 P's that I use. It's purpose, process, and prosperity.
Okay.
And I just go off of that because, like you said, everything that you went through, it has a meaning. So with my process, I literally had to go through hell and high waters to get where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
My purpose, I know I once I got through everything and seen everything, I know what my purpose consists of.
Right.
On top of that, prosperity. I gotta make some money to live, so
Right.
why not? You get what I'm saying? So you definitely gotta have it aligned and set up right. So on that token, Meech, how and what do you have going on? What's your next steps and your future?
Next steps right now, we're working on completing the foster care home.
Okay.
For Just Because We Care, and it's actually good. He was talking about earlier as far as structure. So yeah, we will be providing services to young men from the ages of 17 to 21. So that way we can help develop the structure of the young men. And then I have a clothing brand called Detroit IV Detroit. Starting to get out there a little bit more. My marketing sucks. So I'm so serious.
I feel you, bro.
It's,
I'm learning.
Right.
I'm serious. So
But you getting better with it.
yeah.
Getting better with it.
This is actually a good step in the right direction because this is new for me. Thanks to you, Tanisha.
Thanks.
But other than that, just striving to continue to do something that I didn't do yesterday, or even with movement, actually make progress. So that's pretty much it.
I like that. And it's crazy because when you first started off, you was asking me, and it's so funny because dealing with my business partners, we would have talks for hours, like literally piggybacking off of each other. And when he came to me, he was like, Tanisha, how do you think this sounds? Detroit for Detroit. And he gave me the whole background of it. He knew more about like Detroit and Michigan and the whole
The mapping.
everything. And I was like, that's dope. So to just hear and see that like inspired me to learn a little bit more about the city I stay in. So to even give a little bit about that, what's your history? What gained you into doing Detroit for Detroit?
I mean, so basically working in the community, it's like you see your good parts of Detroit and you see your bad parts. So it's like knowing both sides. A lot of times, some people will say, yeah, downtown's coming back, but they're not doing nothing in the city. And sometimes that is the case. But I know, like, I grew up over near, like, Ross and Kelly. So starting to see certain roads paved that you wouldn't even know about. Hayes, stuff like that. So the whole concept with Detroit for Detroit is you got, like, if you look at Detroit here, it's thin, right? And then you got Detroit down here is thicker. So the thin part will represent the areas of Detroit that has less attention, meaning the blocks or neighborhoods that people say that, people don't pay attention to. And then down here would be the neighborhoods like Detroit. Like people actually notice, but at the same time, it don't matter if you're east side, west side, it's Detroit for Detroit.
Right.
Like Kwame back, and then like when it comes to us supporting our own people, anybody from Detroit, we pretty much rock with them. So now having Detroit Pistons in Detroit, and then the whole point. So I live in the suburbs now, but out in the suburbs, I see a lot of restaurants, clothing stores, car repair stores. Detroit 313. That's not the area code. It's not the zip code. So I was like, well, how does Detroit actually look? So I was like, well, have I ever seen a map view of the city of Detroit? How can I take the city and just put it in its own lane that everybody else isn't familiar with, rather than the D from the Detroit Tigers, or show people what Detroit really looked like and become familiar with it. So took the map and incorporated that into the brand.
And I like that. I really do. But D, you getting much better. Don't ever down yourself. No, for real, because you gotta start from somewhere, and people will never know. Like I said earlier, people will never know because of where you are now. This is why I wanted you to be here. Due to, like you said, you're revamping the home for the youth. Somebody broke in, right, and stole merchandise and all of the equipment for the home, and you're rebuilding right now. So I know you have some type of donation, GoFundMe set up for it.
Yeah.
So how can people donate to that?
I'm still not familiar with GoFundMe. It's been about a month and a half, and I don't know if you can still donate to it.
Okay.
But
if not, they can reach out to you.
Yeah. You can definitely reach out to us on Facebook, Just Because We Care. Send an inbox, send a messages. There's different ways to contribute.
Okay.
Which would be greatly appreciated.
And not only if they can contribute money, but they can contribute their time, they can contribute some type of their services, exactly. So you got to put that out there as well, because a lot of people out here, like my brother, he has his own construction company. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So if people just network and know someone, we can knock this house out.
The funny part is, I wanted to ask you because you showed me something that he did in the field, and it was like,
it was just like a little outdoor, little seating area for real,
man, that was
not
huge
little,
to me.
and I told y'all.
That'd be my problem too. I downplay a lot of stuff.
I try not to do that too.
That's because
I tell everybody, don't put nothing little in front of your name, your nothing, and you don't allow nobody else to put little in front of it. So
it's a process. We used to be
modest,
man.
the actual boss of the situation. So,
But it's all right, you're gonna get there because I'm gonna help y'all out. Don't ever put little in front of nothing that
Real.
you're doing, or you allow nobody else to put little in
Real,
because you
yeah.
worked hard to get where you are. You get what I'm saying? So it
Right.
just with that
Get it together,
mindset.
sister.
Oh, I am. Listen, I'm swing tearing everything. This is what I'm here for.
But for
Because
real though, it was a good project though. Like it was just an outdoor seating area where we renovated like 3 vacant lots over in the Fitzgerald neighborhood and just made it into like a community gathering space. So it was good, and like basically with that they got grant money, for that project. It was completely paid for, so.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good.
and that's with my brother too. Not to go back on this, but he don't give himself a lot of credit where it's due. No, for real. And I don't like that because you worked hard. You get what I'm saying? You had to bring that up. I've been asking him what he did. You get what I'm saying? It's like, what have you done? Did you done it for the community?
I do so much stuff.
Exactly. I understand that, but you letting the people know what you're doing, how you getting it set up, and where you're headed. So it's like, I'm doing this, I'm working on that. If you would like to help, if you would like to contribute, it's in any aspect, because that's how we just got a new treasurer, right?
Yes,
She
yes.
saw him on the news, y'all. She saw him on the news and said she was going to look for him,
Right.
but end up seeing him at the Home Depot
Right.
with the doggone jacket on his back. And she said, "Are you a part of the program or what?" He said, "I'm the CEO." She said, "I was about to come look for you."
okay.
You get what I'm saying? So you have to, you your brand.
Putting it out there.
You your
marketing
brand.
indirectly. You know what I'm saying? So you doing the marketing. I was at Meyer 2 days ago. I had left Detroit, got back home, and I'll still be rocking my mask. A lot of people just be out with masks. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm coming out of there. You know how you see this dude, give you the nod. So he's like, "What's up?" And I really didn't recognize him because he didn't have a mask on, but it's dark, so I'm keeping it moving to the car. So he like, "Mick, what up, man?" I'm like, "What's up, bro?" And he was like, "I knew it was you. I seen the hat." He's like, "I seen the 10 run on the hat, so I knew it was you."
Right.
So, we marketing, we probably need to get better at social media marketing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we marketing, we just,
But it's people out here for that. I'm actually now trying to set up with one of my homegirls. She moved to Dallas and she's here now for the weekend. So I'm like, we need to connect, sis, because I know I'm not great for social media. Like, I make posts, but I really don't care for social media. If
that's
that
a
makes
part
sense.
of growth, though.
Yeah,
Understanding
so-
where you strong at
Yeah.
and when you need to
Help at.
you know.
And so if I need to pay somebody or to do whatever to help me, listen, let's get it, because I'm working on so much that I hardly can think straight sometimes. So it's like it's somebody out here to take that leverage off you. And even with you, I have my own program, but I help him. I have my own other things I do, but I help other people. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know what all I do, but I move around very, very, very
Every
well.
time I call you right.
Yes, so exactly. So, even with that, and I just want to say, like, when he first, brought to me to like, T, can you join just because we care? But at this time, we're, as long as he's been out here, he didn't really have like a mission statement set up. He didn't have anything. So I'm giving him, dropping a whole bunch of jewels on him. He was like, T, he was like, T, that's awesome. I said, but everybody want a specific realm. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, just because we care, you can't just give a specific. It's you care about everything. You care about your people. So we're feeding. We're giving back to the homeless. We're giving back to the women. We're giving back doing this. We're feeding. We're helping putting money or anything over here. We're accessible over here. So it's like, you can't just narrow it down. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, make yourself out here so people will know what you're doing, what you got set up. So it's a lot of people. That's where I'm at now, where it's, like my homie said, Dice, shout out to Dice at my game room. He like, T, if we can build a chain, we'll be so unbreakable. Because if everybody put that link in where it's missing, they can't stop us. And there's so many people out here that just
deciding those links though. Everybody not part of the chain. Everybody don't deserve a seat at the table.
They don't. But that's when you weave it out. You get what I'm saying?
You gotta start a project for it to mess up,
right?
So you can see who deserves to be there, who doesn't.
That part.
Because if you overthink it, you will never start. You have to I don't know,
that part.
this person, that person. We just gotta do something,
Right?
And we'll see the outcome and see who deserves to continue to part two.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yes, but I love this. I love this for today. So I don't know any other questions y'all may have for each other or for me.
I got a question. Like, do you wear your mask when you in the car?
I'm not about
No,
to
I
say
only
that.
wear it when I'm, like when I'm around a crowd of people in Meijer or Walmart and stuff like that.
No, I get it. I'm wearing mine too.
I don't trust
Because I
people
wear
in
it,
the
I gotta
car.
wear it all day at work. So
Yeah.
I try. When I get out of there, I'm.
I'm not about to play with y'all. But yes,
I have a question though. What is it like to have your own construction company? Because I know just the history of, us not being in that realm and us not being treated fairly in that realm, and just wanted to know, like, what is it like?
Right. I mean, it's hard. I'm still growing every day. Like, I'm not per se on these larger projects with my own company. Like more so what my company does now is we do like residential rehab. So like homeowners that's looking to, invest in like a duplex or a single family and they want to renovate it. Those are the kind of jobs that, I take on. Ultimately, my goal is to, be a part of like these larger commercial projects, but, I'm just taking it a step at a time with that one. But with working with a larger, commercial company, I do see that on the front end that it is getting better in terms of like inclusion and like overall development into like our workforce. But the problem is that we don't have a lot of people that are willing to work, so
Right.
that's the biggest thing is like, it's definitely jobs, like, even the company I work for, we put on different, events and stuff to grow our workforce. But at the end of the day, it's really just getting those people that are really willing to be a part of that workforce and that, want to learn and grow and develop. But it's definitely opportunity out here for sure. And I recommend anyone looking to get in the field of construction, like whether it be like being a carpenter, plumber, electrician, concrete, demolition, like it's opportunity out here. And it's definitely a calling and a need for a greater workforce.
Okay, that's what's up.
So is there any resources for the youth that want to, like get some type of training and become an electrician or this and get into construction?
Yeah. So with that, like definitely Focus Hope is a good or a nonprofit organization that does, have a lot of like workforce development, training, and you can go there to get your residential builder's license that, you actually need to start a company. Definitely can learn the skills with being an electrician, a carpenter. And then they also are building like a new like workforce development center. It's like right on 96 in Oakland.
Okay.
It's a new building, so like they're teaching like general trade, skills there, so like carpentry and stuff like that. So definitely those resources. But I'll reach out to Tanisha and give her some links that she can put in like the notes or something. So.
Okay, appreciate it.
Okay, cool. I don't know. Yeah, so that's about good. So I just appreciate you all coming out. Once again, we got faced with some rain. You coming all the way from Ohio. You coming deep east. And, I appreciate that. That's why we had to push it back, then. But we can't control Mother Nature. So, as I always say, who are we? Either you going to do it or you ain't, and I'm not the one to complain about too much. And I ain't going to say complain, but make excuses.
Right.
So, I don't have excuses. Either I'm going to do it or I'm not. So just to piggyback off of my quote, in this world we live in, there will always be trials, tribulations, and tests. But in order to succeed, you must go through obstacles to know what is meant for your life's journey. So with that being said, people, just know that prayer, having a great mindset, being around great individuals with positive vibes, feedback, someone that can help along the journey as well is always a plus. And just also know, y'all, that I am on a few different other platforms, which are Anchor, Spotify, Pocket Cast, Google Cast, Podcast, Breaker, Apple iTunes, Radio Public, Overcast, and featured off of YouTube. with also radio, as well as I have my own other platform for discussions with 10 on YouTube as well. So subscribe so you can stay tuned for what's next. As I stated before, this will be, I'm getting myself a little break because I'm working on so many different other new life journeys as well. So I will not be here for maybe another month or two. If I do, I probably would do it maybe from where I'm at, and then we can zoom it in and put it all together that way. But I don't know. Y'all have to subscribe to stay tuned. So do that. Subscribe. So I appreciate everyone, and it's been great. Thank you all for coming out. I appreciate that. And continue being great. Continue to set those different, adversities, not only for yourself, but your families and friends, and just share your story. Share your story. So that's time. Thanks for tuning in with Discussions with 10. Y'all be blessed.